Join my Patreon at patreon.com/bunnytails for the full uncut reactions. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be watching some more Star Trek, the original series, of course. We're going to be watching an episode called Tomorrow is Yesterday. I want to thank you guys for joining me on another exciting adventure together, and I hope you guys will enjoy watching my first time seeing this episode. All right, guys, let's get into it. Hope you enjoy. 3, 2, 1.
Aircraft of some sort.
What was the approach?
None, sir. It was just there, like it fell out of the sky or something.
I think we have a real UFO in our hands.
Is it the Enterprise? Okay. Interesting. How did we get here? Where are we? When are we? Is this Earth? In the past? Is this an Earth-like planet that hasn't gone spacefaring yet?
We were en route to Starbase 9 for resupply when a black star of high gravitational attraction began to drag us toward it. It required all warp power in reverse to pull us away from the star. But like snapping a rubber band, the breakaway sent us plunging through space, out of control.
Mr. Scott overrode the automatic helm setting and is holding us in orbit on impulse power.
Orbit where, Mr. Scott?
Earth, Captain.
Okay, so it is Earth.
I'm getting something on another frequency, but it's not Starfleet.
Put it on audio.
The first manned moonshot is scheduled for Wednesday, 6 a.m.
That can't be right.
Man, moonshot. That was in the late 1960s.
Apparently, Captain. So are we.
So they're basically to the present time of when this was filmed.
We're tracking both you and the UFO.
I have him on my screen.
We come in peace.
Blue Jay 4, you are ordered to close on the UFO and attempt to force him to land.
Aircraft is an interceptor, equipped with missiles, possibly armed with nuclear warheads.
Oh, great.
Scotty, activate tractor beam.
This type of aircraft might be too fragile to take our tractor beam.
Oh. Beam him up.
Aircraft is breaking up, Captain.
Uh-oh. Beam him up. This pilot is about to have a crazy day.
Welcome aboard the Enterprise.
You speak English?
Relax, Captain. You're among friends.
He's like, I don't trust you aliens, even if you do speak English.
You people, who are you?
All in good time, Captain. Relax, you're our guest. I have a feeling you'll find it interesting.
Very interesting, yes.
Follow me.
He's like, 1 minute I was sitting down in my cockpit, the next minute I was here. Feeling a little discombobulated.
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, Captain.
The music.
Crewman.
A woman?
We're from your future. A time warp placed us here. It was an accident.
You seem to have a lot of them.
What do you mean? Why would you assume we have a lot of accidents?
Feel free to look around, Captain. Don't touch anything, but I think you'll find it interesting.
Interesting is a word and a half for it, Captain.
Well, he seems calm considering the circumstances. Hey, quit looking at the women!
Captain Christopher, we cannot return him to Earth, Captain. He already knows too much about us and is learning more.
Oh.
Suppose an unscrupulous man were to gain certain knowledge of man's future, could manipulate key industries, and in so doing, change what must be. And if it is changed, Captain, you and I, and all that we know, might not even exist.
Oh.
Your logic can be most
Troubling.
annoying.
Annoying. But what do we do with him? Is he gonna have to go back to the future with us?
Captain's log supplemental. Engineering Officer Scott informs warp engines damaged.
Computed and recorded, dear.
Computer, you will not address me in that manner.
Computed, dear.
It also has an unfortunate tendency to giggle.
What?
Well, you people certainly have interesting problems. I'd love to stay around to see how your girlfriend works out, but...
I'm afraid you'll have to. We can't send you back.
Can't?
You know what the future looks like. If anybody else finds out, they could change the course of it, destroy it.
Well, then my disappearance would change something, too.
I have run a computer check on all historical tapes. They show no record of any relevant contribution by John Christopher.
Ooh. Ouch.
It's my duty to report what I've seen.
We can't take the risk.
I don't want to know about risks. I have a wife, 2 children. What about them?
Ooh. Take him with you. Take him with him. I mean, it's really messed up to just remove him from his life that he has here.
The engines are being repaired, but we've no place to go in this time.
How do we get back to our time?
Too bad, Captain. Maybe I can't go home, but neither can you. You're as much a prisoner in time as I am.
If I were this guy, this Christopher guy, I'd be freaking out.
Recommendation for his disposition, dear.
Dear.
Maintenance note. My recording computer has a serious malfunction. Recommended either be corrected or scrapped. Compute.
Computed.
Computed? Why are you so mean?
Captain Christopher is not in his assigned quarters. He may be trying to escape the ship.
See, I don't know why they don't assign guards to these people. Like, oh, he can fight. Oh, he doesn't know how to use that, but I'm sure he could figure it out.
Now, I'm gonna step into that thing and you're gonna transport me back to Earth.
Oh, wow. Like, even if they weren't trying to escape or do something bad, like, what if someone's trying to find the bathroom and they get lost in this huge ship?
We're roughly about the same age, but in our society, he'd be useless.
Maybe he could be retrained, re-educated.
Now you're sounding like Spock.
If you're gonna get nasty, I'm gonna leave.
Could he be retrained to forget his family, his children?
The answer to that is no.
It's kind of a fucked up thing to ask. Could you be trained, Kirk, to forget the Enterprise? I don't think so.
I made an error in my computations.
Oh?
This could be an historic occasion. I find that we must return Captain Christopher to Earth after all. That your son, Colonel Sean Jeffrey Christopher, will head the first successful Earth-Saturn probe, which is a rather significant...
Wait a minute, I don't
Why
have
is
a
he-
son.
I don't know if they should be telling him this.
Oh boy. I'm going to have a son.
I don't know if they should have told him that. But I'm sure it'll be fine.
When I made visual contact, I turned on my wing cameras. And I got close enough to take some pretty clear pictures of you. And ADC Control was probably recording my radio transmissions.
We're going to have to go back and get those reports and photos.
Captain, I know that base. I'd like to...
No, Captain. You might get hurt. We couldn't risk that. Neither could you or your son.
He smiles every time.
I could sketch a layout of the place for you.
He's starting to get really excited about all this. Like, they want to send him back. He's gonna have a son. He's in this ship from the future. He's having a grand old time. But yeah, they don't know how this whole time travel thing works. So they could go too far into the future, not far enough. Like, they're gonna run out of power eventually. I'm sure it takes some power to travel through time. Unless you can find a way to get something to push you there like they did. Probably feels like being in a museum or something. I bet Sulu volunteered to go down here. He's fascinated by old archaic things. He was probably jumping at the opportunity. We get Sulu a flashlight so he can, like, help?
Primitive computer. I've seen them demonstrated in museums.
Primitive.
How long have they been down there now? It is a fact, Doctor, that prowling by stealth is more time-consuming than a direct approach. In our case,
Shouldn't you be working on your time warp calculations, Mr. Spock?
I am.
He can count, keep time in his head, as well as
Hold
doing
it.
complicated
Put your hands up.
calculations.
One at a time. Hand me those belts.
They can't explain this to him because then he's going to be another person that knows that they're from the future.
It's been too long. Jim should have at least signaled by now.
Open communicator channel.
What was that?
What was what?
That noise.
I didn't hear anything.
The emergency signal.
One emergency signal, sir.
Beam up immediately.
Oh no. Oh no! Another one? Kirk's like, shit. Oh, it just keeps getting worse.
Are you all right, Captain?
Yes, I'm all right, but as you can see, we have another problem.
I can see. Oh man, what?
I want you to keep him in the transporter room. No sense letting him see any more of the ship than is necessary.
I don't believe there'll be any trouble in that respect, Captain. Our guest seems quite satisfied to remain where he is.
I would put it at the end of these tapes. We've got them all.
Okay, so they got the tapes, but they need the photographs now. I wonder if they just told, like, Christopher, instead of saying, like, hey, we're from the future, if they said that they were aliens and then send him back down to the surface. I wonder, like, how that would have changed the future, if that would have been any better. I don't know. I guess instead of exploring out in space, they might go more defensively and concentrate on building defenses as opposed to exploration. Especially after they
That's all.
destroyed the ship with their
Signal
tractor
Mr.
beam.
Spock that we're almost ready to beam up.
Oh dear. Whoa, he just used his whole body as a weapon against them. Like a bowling ball. Knocking them down like pins. He's fighting 3 of them at once. Cool. Oh, this is so cool. Oh no. Uh-oh. He's getting overpowered. Aw, he held out really long though. I thought he was gonna take them all out. Did Sulu request transport back up?
All right, where's the other one?
One of them. Besides, could anyone get out of here without you seeing them?
Unless they got transported.
Poor photography.
Blast your theories and observations, Mr. Spock. What about Jim? He's down there alone, probably under arrest. He doesn't have a communicator, and we can't locate him or beam him back aboard without one.
That's
I
not
am
good.
aware of that, Doctor.
But yelling about it is not going to help anything.
I want to know how you got in here. Now, that's a simple question.
Believe me, Colonel, you wouldn't believe me.
It's true, though.
I popped in out of thin air.
Is that a uniform of some kind?
Yes.
Something I slipped on.
I am going to lock you up for 200 years.
Quite the predicament.
That ought to be just about right.
Then he'll be in his own time. There you go.
Can you give us the coordinates to beam down a landing party near those interrogation rooms?
Yes? But you're not going to get them unless you take me with you.
I can't do that, Captain.
Of course, you could beam down anywhere inside that base, but it would take time to find him.
What do you think, Mr. Logical?
Sulu, you and Captain Christopher will beam down with me.
Energize.
Oh, that guy forgot he's still here. Oh, no.
They do that all the time?
Yep.
Are you hungry?
What would you like?
Maybe some chicken soup.
You don't want the cube salad? I like that guy.
Hold it.
Nice one.
See what that is, Airman.
Surprise.
Mr. Sulu, did you have a chance to check out those tapes?
Oh, he got a gun.
Mr. Sulu, signal the transporter chief. 4 to beam up. Yes, sir.
Not me.
Well, they said he could come back, but not here and now, right? Not wearing that.
You can't explain your presence on the base.
I told you it's my duty to report everything I've seen.
Can't you just keep your mouth shut?
Over my dead body.
Forward to beam up, Mr. Sulu. Yes, sir.
This is, like, frustrating to watch.
Mr. Scott and I both agree that the only possible solution is a slingshot effect, like the one that put us here.
How do you propose to return the sergeant and me?
Logically, as we move faster and faster toward the sun, we'll begin to move backward in time. We'll actually go back beyond yesterday. Then, breaking free will shoot us forward in time, and we'll transport you back at a point before any of this happened.
You won't have anything to remember because it never will have happened.
Oh.
If I can't stop us soon enough, we may overshoot our time. And if I stop the engine suddenly, the strain may tear us apart.
Well, gentlemen, we all have to take a chance, especially if one is all you have.
They have to try. Better get it right, though. So I don't really understand how it works that he wouldn't remember. I don't understand how he wouldn't remember. If his... Wouldn't there be 2 of him?
I was in line to be chosen for the space program.
Take a good look around, Captain. You made it here ahead of all of them.
But he won't remember it. Shouldn't they be in the transporter room ready to be sent down?
Sir, our speed is increasing.
From here, we'll move even faster. And, Captain, notice the chronometers. They've started backward.
Get your gear, report to the transporter room.
So they're gonna go back in time, and then at some point they're gonna reverse to go forward in time? I guess that would make sense. They call it the slingshot effect.
3, 2.
Now, Mr. Sulu.
Maximum now, sir. She's biting it.
Damn, that's fast.
We've broken free and heading back.
Bridge to transporter room. Captain Christopher. We're coming up on Earth fast. Captain, are you ready?
Everything okay? Captain, thanks for the look ahead.
3, 2,
Energize.
You should be close enough for visual contact.
Okay. So he just fused back into his...
I could have sworn there was some kind of ship, but nothing could have moved that fast. Mark it down as another UFO. Blue J4 returning to base.
Approaching second beaming, Captain. Now.
Energize.
Are they sending the other guy back? Well, that was very complicated, and I can't believe that they pulled all of that off.
Bridge to engineering. Begin full braking power.
They may blow apart if I reverse.
No choice, Mr. Scott.
Aye, sir.
50 years to go.
Engine's cutting back, sir. No decrease in speed.
They're gonna overshoot it.
The engines.
The Enterprise will hold together.
Engines are on full reverse. They're buckling.
Mr. Scott is still with us.
Alright. Are we in the right time?
Captain.
Starfleet Control calling Enterprise.
Starfleet Control. Repeating message. The Enterprise is home. Kirk out.
That was crazy. Well, that was definitely something. Definitely a different kind of adventure than we have ever had before. I always get a little bit confused a lot of times with time travel Obviously, it's not something that we have been able to attain yet as a species. So there are lots of different theories and lots of different explanations and rules that they use in different kind of media. Not every movie or TV show or book or whatnot will follow the same rules. And I've never seen it done quite like this. So this has been very, very new for me and a little bit confusing. But I guess if they did take Christopher with them, he would have just vanished and never returned to Earth, and he would have lived out his life in the future. And returning him was just kind of putting him back in his body before it got aboard the Enterprise, and somehow that all works out. I'm not gonna try to think about it too hard, but if you guys have any kind of things you can add to that, maybe something that I overlooked, or some kind of theory that's out there that they pulled from to create this episode that I maybe have never heard of before. It was a very nice way to wrap it up so that Christopher didn't go back and report everything he'd seen, as he said he felt like he had the obligation to do. I thought he was being a little bit unbending, and I think he could have made an exception to kind of save the future from changing. But I guess, you know, he has a duty and he's going to carry it out. We had some really great Spock and Bones interactions. Those are always hilarious to watch and a lot of fun. And that fight scene with Kirk when he was taking on all three of those guys, that was the most exciting scene, like fight scene that I've seen in this show so far, I think. There was some crazy like choreography and acrobatics that were going on in that, and he almost took them all out. Very impressive. The espionage aspects of it were really tense. That was something a bit different from what we've seen in the past as well. And it's always great to see Sulu make an appearance and have like kind of a large-ish role in the episode. He just really keeps his cool. Every time I see him, he's just the super cool, super chill guy, never complains, very professional. It's always a great time to see him. And with that, I thank you guys. Please do leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Thank you guys, as always, for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.